The views and opinions expressed in this podcast do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of any organization or sponsor. This content is for inspirational and aspirational purposes only and should not be taken as professional advice.
Welcome aboard to the pilot episode of our podcast entitled Roots of Excellence. I am one of your hosts for today. I am Tyler.
And I am CJ. Samahan nyo kami ngayon sa first episode ng Roots of Excellence kung saan tayo magtatawanan at may mga seryosong usapan dito. Tyler, kamusta ka naman for today? Nakapaghanda ka ba for our first ever podcast?
I think okay naman na, research a little bit here and there about some issues and sa ano. Pero very open pa rin sa mga insights and sa mga, very interesting answers na marinig natin today. How about you?
Yeah, okay naman ako. Nakakapag-research na ako about our special guest for today. No? Sino ba ang special guest natin dito sa podcast?
To formally start our program, may we call on the President and CEO of Real Excellence Online.
He started as a teacher and became an author of the taxation books, became an entrepreneur, innovator, and investor.
Let us all welcome the greatest of all time, the GOAT of Rio, Sir Rex Bangawan.
Thank you guys. Salamat.
Okay, sir, gusto ko yung first episode, may live audience tayo. Sana sa mga susunod na episode, marami na rin.
So, sir, kamusta naman po yung drive niyo to here?
Okay, ayos naman siya sir. The weather is good and hindi ma-traffic.
So, kamusta po ang pagre-ready nyo dito, sir, for our podcast?
Actually sir, parang normal lang.
Normal lang.
Yes po.
Don't worry, sir, wag po kayong kabahan dito. No? Normal kwentuhan lang po tayo dito sa Roots of Excellence podcast.
So, this part naman, sir, is more so para makilala ka namin and makilala ka ng mga tao outside of our audience. So, sir, feel free to...
I'm Mr. Rex Bangawan. Galing ako sa probinsya ng Kalinga, doon ako pinanganak. And then lumaki ako sa isang liblib na lugar, wherein walang roads, walang electricity. And then yung lugar namin that time is pinamumugaran ng mga mga rebelde, si Malaya sa Kabihasnan. So ayun, magkakalayo yung mga bahay-bahay doon. People are totally dependent upon farming. And then nagkaroon ng militarization in our area, and then we were displaced. So naging backwit kami. Then namuhay kami sa lugar na walang-wala kami. So we started everything from back to zero. So doon ako nag-aral ulit from elementary, Since walang-wala kami doon, nagtrabaho kami sa bukid, Naging trabahador kami ng mga mayayaman sa lugar namin. So kami taga-tanim sa kanilang mga cornfields, ganyan na-experience yung mga ganyan na buhay, naging alam mo yung taga-fertilize, ganyan. And life is very manual before kasi wala pang mga makina noon nung araw. So talagang totally yung pag-process hindi katulad kasi ngayon na there are may mga machine tools na ginagamit, may mga i-spray mo lang, hindi ka naman. Literally dati naggagamas ka talaga, ganyan, nauulanan ka, naaarawan ka. So I was trained in that I grew up in that environment. So walang reklamo kasi ganun na yung buhay. So ganun nakasanayan natin, Okay, and ayun, my mother always taught me na Rex, wala kayong ibang asahan sa amin kundi mag-aral lang. So yung aral na yan yung gateway ninyo to a better life, So since wala tayong option, naniwala tayo doon sa pangaral ng magulang na yun, I studied, So sobra akong tutok sa pag-aaral. Even nagtatrabaho ako sa field at the back of Carabao kapag nagpapastol kami ng Kalabaw, dala-dala ko yung libro ko. Tapos nag-aaral ako sa likod ng Kalabaw. Ganun. At experience those time na babalutin ko sa cellophane yung aking mga notebook, ganun, or books kapag pupunta ako ng field. Kasi kapag nandun kami, kapag uulan ng hapon, mababasa. So, ganun ko sobra pahalagaan ang aking education. So, God is very good kasi nagtuloy-tuloy yun, no? hanggang doon sa naging high school ako hanggang college na kahit papaano naman nakaka-place ako ng rank dun sa academic circles ng aming klase. So yun through thick and thin I was able to to become a certified public accountant. Then eventually nagturo ako in the academe as a professor. Then once na perfect ko yung aking craft taxation, I wrote a textbook and then pinublish ko, thinking na konti lang ang interested but then biglang marami nagka-interest doon sa formulation ng pagkakasulat. Okay, and then that's it. I established a publishing and then marami na rin naghahanap sa akin na magturo in various review schools. So nag-ikot-ikot din ako magturo in other places of the Philippines. Then nung awa ng Diyos may konting naipon na savings, I opened businesses na nag-open ako ng right now I'm engaged in still farming kasi galing tayo doon, hindi matanggal yung pagiging dugong farmer natin so I have seed integrated farm we have 3 different farms in Isabela and Kalinga. We are also processing agricultural goods for consumers, kaya meron tayong SureFresh Enterprises. And then I'm also engaged in mining right now. Meron kaming different mining tenements in Abra, Kalinga, saka in Apayao. And then right now I'm also engaged in innovation sa technology. So we have TaxSafe Enterprise, TaxSafe Philippines. The goal of this entity is to help taxpayers comply, lalo yung mga hindi nakakapag-afford ng bookkeeper. We are moving towards that innovation to make tax compliance automated. And then we have also bookkeeping app, Accurex, ganon. And then we have also interest in electronics, kaya gumagawa kami ng mga gadgets. Yung mga nagbabasa ng exam, yung nagko-compute ng result ng bata, yung nag-i-scan na machine gun, and we are building those under S2 Technologies. And then in addition to that, I also have meron ding pawn shop, ganyan, jewelry store, and we are also engaged in trading gold, yung tinatawag natin na golden beetle. And right now we also formulate we have interest in real estate. We have Rex Realty and Rio Residences for student accommodation. Okay? And then lately we formed a security and investigative agency to provide services to our group of small group of companies. Yan po ako ngayon, sir, Ayan. Aside from that pa pala, sir, is on the other side, I also kapag may excess funds ako, nilalaro ko siya, ini-invest ko siya sa stock market.
Sir, you mentioned that you've been a farmer dati and until now.
Yes, sir, until now.
Ito po yung parang mga tinatanim niyo po dun sa farm?
Rice, sir, kasi we have rice fields kasi, sir, tapos may banana, and then we have a poultry and a piggery. So doon umiikot. Kung gusto kong mabilad ng araw, punta lang ako doon sa mga sa farms namin, ganun, para magpawis.
Yun nga, na-mention nyo nga po, you have a lot of work, farmer, an investor, a teacher, an innovator, how do you balance those works po? Tapos may personal life pa po kayo. How do you balance the work and life po?
Actually, sir, nasanay kasi ako sa marami akong ginagawa. Kapag ako ay nakaupo lang sa bahay, para akong nagkakasakit. So mas may thrill sa akin kapag marami akong bagay na ginagalaw. Parang mas prefer ko yung parang orchestra na, alam mo yun, yung parang kung paano pagtagpi-tagpiin ang maraming bagay in unison. Yun doon ako masaya. So while I'm doing this, I have also my family on the other side. I'm just lucky na nagkaroon ako ng wife din na nakakaintindi sa akin. So she is very excellent in complementing me.
Supportive.
Yeah, I'm very happy kasi sobrang papasalamat din ako sa kanya kasi of course she she had aspirations din about her professional career. Pero give up na din niya yun para ma-complement yung ano namin. So, we take turns in taking after the children. Pero siya yung parang nakatutok talaga sa mga bata while I'm there doing things around, paikot-ikot ako most of the time. Pero lagi ako, but I'm always, most of the time I'm home-based.
So, sir, we've tackled the family. How are you po as a father to your children and as a husband to your wife?
To me, sir, as a father, I define my worth as a father as kung ano yung mga bagay na kailangan ko nang gawin ngayon para sa mga anak ko, gagawin ko na ngayon in this lifetime. Yung I do not impose my standards on them. Ako, iba kasi yung iba yung kinalakihan kong mundo. And I do not want them to undergo the same type of hardship I've been through. So, ang ginawa ko ngayon is I will just do it for them. And then, kung ano man ako, ano yung standards ko sa sarili ko, yun ay para sa akin na lang. And then, sa kanila, it's up to them to draw their own path in life. So, right now, sir, is I have 4 children. 3 yung panganay na babae, tapos yung bunso ko na lalaki. No? And the eldest daughter is a member of the LGBTQ community, sir. And of course, we support her wholeheartedly for whatever she is. So, ayun, sir. No? And so, ayun, sir, it's just a kailangan lang talaga, sir, i-balance na of course family always, no? Family laging priority yan while we are doing other things. Okay? So when I started doing business, nakipag-agree ako kay wife ko na sabi ko sa kanya, you have to expect na for most of the time hindi na lang kayo yung pamilya ko kasi we are building a bigger organization. Marami na lang pamilya na nakaasa sa atin. So I'm also a father not only of our children but also the families that are part of our larger organization. Kaya actually, sir, it's being an entrepreneur is actually kumbaga parang mas malawak na responsibilidad bilang isang magulang kasi yung pamilya mo hindi lang yung anak mo yung tinitignan mo kundi yes, the future also of your mga kasamaan mo sa organization.
So we've explored, sir, about your home life and your family, and it is a very common practice to keep God in the center of all things. And so, might I ask her, what is your relationship with Him, with God, and your overall beliefs po?
Actually, Sir Tyler, as sa amin na galing sa baba, ang isang sumbungan mo lang or isang bagay na malapit lang talaga sa'yo is yung nasa taas. Walang taga-protect sa'yo kasi hindi mo naman kayang protektan ang sarili mo. So, we are totally dependent sa taas. So, I have a close relationship with God. Kasi bata pa lang ako talaga kapag may mga bagay na lagi ako dasal. Naging sakristan din ako actually, sir, for quite some time. Sa simbahan.
Parehas din pala tayo, sir.
Nag-choir, nagigitara din ako noon sa church, ganyan. And then we do community service. Like, kapag Christmas, nag-caroling kami para meron kami pambili ng sound system ng church, ganun. And then, nung nag-high school ako, dumaan din ako sa religious school. Ganun, doon ko medyo, and one of the thing talaga na if may proper guidance man sa akin that led me to this place right now is, aside from my parents, is divine intervention. Kasi kapag may mga bagay na na pinapangarap ko or gusto kong mangyari sa buhay ko, is talagang pinagdadasal ko siya, tapos paghihirapan ko talaga siya, hindi ko talaga siya titigilan, tapos eventually nagiging totoo. So whenever meron akong tao dito, hinanakit sa mundo, minsan may mga ganun tao tayo, di ba, na nasasaktan sa mga bagay-bagay nangyayari. I go to church, I consult things out, ganyan. And eventually, nagsesettle yung mga bagay-bagay in their proper place. Pati yung pagtap ko sa board exam noong as accountancy ako, Punta ako ng church, nagdasal ako sa simbahan. And then sabi ko doon, God, I think na ginawa ko na rin yung sakripisyo on my part. Tapos ano na lang, basta ikaw na lang bahala doon sa iba. Sabi ko sa kanya. And then ang gusto ko lang sana, kahit papano man lang, kahit number 14 lang ako sa board exam, I would be very happy. Parang credentials ko na yun kumbaga, no? Para na rin sa pamilya ko. Kasi nag-graduate kasi ako, tatay na ako noon. I did not finish my education na perfect siya. Kumbaga, yung si Mrs. kasi maagang 5 year kasi accountancy, nung 5th year na kami, may baby na kami. Nauna pa yung birth certificate ng anak ko. Hindi ko kinakaya yun. No, talagang naging napaaga yung responsibilidad sa akin at pinanindigan ko yun. So yun, bago ako mag-graduate ng college is may baby na kami. Nauna pa siya sa diploma, kaya ang laki ng pressure sa akin to have something, no, for my family, for my child and my wife, no. Okay, so yun, sabi ko kay God noon, hindi ko makakalimutan to sa Aurora Hill Church, Baguio City, na punta ako doon, nagdasal ko, mas number 14 lang, God, I would be very happy. At that very board exam, tinanggal ng PRC yung top 11 to 20, pero number 6 yung binigay niya sa akin. So yeah, ganun. And yung isang mga bagay na doon na sabi ko nga, malakas ang divine intervention for people na naniniwala man o hindi. Totoo yan. Kasi merong sa isipan it gives you peace, something you cannot explain. Kapag bago ako punta ng board exam, na magte-test, daan muna ako ng cathedral, Baguio Cathedral. Then tanghali, punta muna ako ng cathedral. Mag-exam na naman ako ng hapon. Pagkatapos ng exam ng hapon, punta na naman ako ng cathedral. Pag ganun ako. So sobrang sobrang power ng divine intervention. And if I will look back right now, tapos doon sa pinanggalingan ko noon, parang hindi ako mapaniwala na nandito ako. So parang it's too impossible. Parang for a million of possibilities, hindi ko maipaliwanag din ko paano ako nandito. Kaya sobra tawag dito, sobra ang paniniwala ko sa edukasyon, pati sa religion. Kaya right now, dahil considering yung roots, yung dinaanan ko through the years, naniniwala ako na kapag mapapalapit ang tao sa Diyos, mas maliliwanag yung daan niya para sa kung ano man ang gusto niyang maabot sa buhay. This is also one of the reason why I help build churches in the provinces. No, maraming sa gilid ng Apayao, Kalinga, including in Abra. I made several donations, no, for church. Papatayo sila ng mga chapel ganyan, or i-refurbish nila yung mga chapels, no. Yeah, several churches have been built and natulungan namin because of that. Kasi naniniwala ako na kapag may mga bata na katulad ko noon na naniniwala lang sa Diyos and wala na silang ibang sandalan kundi Diyos lang, I do believe they will also have the chance na marating kung ano man yung nagawa ko sa ngayon.
Gusto ko yung buong paghihirap mo, sir, dinaan mo sa Diyos at panalangin, no? Then yun nga, sa kasabihan ngayon na sinasabi na nasa Diyos ang awa, nasa tao ang gawa.
Totoo po yan, sir. Totoo po yan. 100% po talaga yan.
Okay, so sir, kilala na po namin yung The Rex Banggawan, no? The President, CEO of Real Excellence Online Philippines. So, ito pong susunod na tanong ko, sir. How did you start Rio, no? What inspires you to build Rio?
Noon kasi sir, nung bata-bata pa akong reviewer, madalas nag-travel ako to different places like Cebu, Davao, Manila, no, Baguio, para akong palipad-lipad na lang ako para makapagturo. And then na-realize ko, sir, na even with that effort, hindi ko pa rin ma-reach yung mga maraming estudyante na nagre-request for me to have their undergrad review. So may time barrier saka yung distance, no? And so I thought na having an online review setup would be better, no, para ma-reach natin sila and ma-service natin sila, makapagbigay tayo ng quality review access, no, sa mga students regardless of wherever they are, and they can take the review whenever and wherever. So, yun sir. So, I conceptualize an online review. And then, yung initial start namin dyan, sir, that's 2017 pa, no? And then we tried to develop a system. Hindi siya nag-prosper kasi hindi siya technically feasible, no? So, in-scrap namin yung project na yun. Then, in 2020, ni-revisit namin na lang siya later on. Nung na-meet ko yung dati kong estudyante na marunong siya mag-code ng app. So, nung tinignan ko yung app niya, consistent siya doon sa gusto ko mangyari. So, we started dreaming of putting up that online review day and night na nagtatrabaho kami. Nasa Tuguegarao siya, nandito ako sa Baguio. Then, nung natapos na yung prototype, nag-ipon ako ng mga bata. May tatlong bata na, tatlong bata na kinuha ko na supporters ko. No? Parang yung mga naglalaro sila. Parang mga katulad lang din yung noon, nung time na yun. I was 37 years old at the time. And ito mga 23, 24, ganun. And then I asked them, ano yung mga gusto nyo in a CPA review, blah, 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 etc. And then from there, brainstorming from time to time, we develop Rio. Ngayon sir, isa sa mga na-realize ko in my teaching career kasi maraming bata na mas gusto nila yung detalye yung pagkakaturo. Yung nakasystematize siya na ganyan na as much as possible, i-digest mo na information sa kanila, give it down to the details, then isusubo mo sa kanila, mas prefer nila yun. Kasi it saves them time to do research, extensive, alam mo yun, pagko-compare ng mga sources nila to come up with the fact, just provide them the fact and the truth, ganun. And mas prefer nila yung ganung klase ng teaching rather than yung, kasi sir, yung may susundan ka lang na question and answer. Okay, so yun sir, we launched a zero-based review. So we started from there. Now, ang nangyari lang siguro sir, isang incidents na hindi namin inaakala is na hindi rin namin naisama sa strategic planning namin is nagkaroon ng pandemic. So dahil may pandemic, sarado lahat ng establishment, people were forced to go online. And at that very moment, nandun yung service namin sir. So naipon sila sa amin. So nung nandito na sila sa amin, mas ginalingan na namin kasi syempre we do not know the definition of what is a quality review in the perspective of an online review kasi wala pa pong online review noon wala kang pagbe-benchmarkan sa Philippines kumbaga So we relied on feedbacks from the students na ito gagawin natin, gusto nyo ba o hindi, ganyan. Tapos may mga positive and negative feedback, ini-screen out namin yung positive, lahat ng negative kinukuha namin, ganyan. Okay, so kung may mga nag-aalburuto na bata kuminsan kasi hindi nila kinukuha namin lahat yung mga yun, and then we implemented. Yung implementation ko minsan hindi lang isang SEM, several SEMs ganyan, but we grew Rio from that. So ganun siya nabuo siya.
So we know the past now of Rio and how it was developed and what it came into today, polished and developed today. How does Rio now differ from its past self? Ano po yung mga changes na na-feel niyo talaga?
Sige sir, okay. Yan, Rio dati sir is honestly, admittedly, maingay. Okay, everybody knows that. So, ayun, sorry sa mga natin, naging sa mga viewers natin of the past. Maingay kami noon kasi kailangan namin magpakilala. Pero right now, hindi na kailangan maging maingay. So, si Rio ngayon is, na siya, kumbaga, ganun na lang. Another thing pa sir is, yung Rio before is zero-based yung lecture namin. Kumbaga, ang target ng market namin is yung mga bata na maraming hahabulin. So, madami kaming materials na pinoprovide. Kasi nga, zero-based yun. You go back to basic hanggang komplikado. Ganyan po siya. But then, as time went by, may mga bata na nagsasabi na overwhelming na yung materials namin. So, doon namin na-realize, may mga magagaling na pala tayong mga estudyante. So, we transitioned into nag-create kami ng another division of reviewers na mag-handle ng quick bids. So, yung quick bids, sir, is shortened lectures to mga to, supplemented by quizzers, para sa mga naghahabol ng oras, ganun. Para sa mga bata na, goods pa yung kanilang foundation. So, yun, no? We have quick bids na rin and quizzer ngayon. So, we were able to cater to students na mahina ang pundasyon. We have that pre-recorded or zero-based. may mga estudyante naman na goods ang pundasyon o naghahabol ng oras, we have that quick bits. And either good ang foundation o mahina man ang good ang foundation o mahina ang pundasyon, kailangan pa rin kasi sir talaga na masanay sila sa problem solving, no? So we have this live face-to-face lecture na naka-focus naman siya dun sa problem testing skill ng bata, paghon ng problem testing skill. And ni-live stream namin yan lahat para even online students can view kung ano yung natututunan ng mga nasa on-site. Okay, so yun. Rio now is an all-in-one review center. So, konti oras mo, mahaba oras mo, magaling ka na o hindi pa, ganun, you are covered by Rio. Para siyang buffet na kung ano yung kailangan mo, yun lang ang kunin mo. So, ganun siya ka-flexible, no? So, we give students, no, more choices, no? Na kung magaling ako sa subject na ito, quick bits na lang ako. Mahina ako sa RFBT, for example, no? Okay, ako doon, pre-rec ako doon or mag-zero base ako doon. Ganun siya. So pwedeng topical sa isang subject, may subject ako doon na mahina ako, pwede kong i-zero base yun. The rest quick bits ganun. So it's totally na. So hindi mo na kailangan aralin lahat. Makapal po yung handouts namin, pero you only select what you want. Ganun siya. Ngayon, in addition to that sir is we are more mas malawak yung scope na namin ngayon. We have more branches kumpara before. And of course, we have more reviewers now. 3 yung lineup po namin kumpara dati na isa lang. So, ganun. Mas maraming reviewers, mas maraming makakatutok sa mga estudyante.
Kumbaga sir, yung mga quick vids nyo po, mga ganun, is hindi siya mandatory na kailangan yung every review is, ito yung kailangan mo.
Hindi sir. Ano siya? Parang need-based siya sir.
Opo.
Needs-based.
So, as you've discussed, sir, yung present standing na ng Rio, it's more stable now and it's definitely quieter than what it was when you were just starting out. And you've developed this very systematic system, kumbaga, na it works for a lot of students and a lot of top types of learning. So it's very inclusive in a way.
Yes sir.
So I would ask you personally, sir, how would you define real excellence?
For me, sir, real excellence is consistent quality service that is continuously evolving. Kasi what is excellent right now may not be excellent in the future. Kapag may change doon sa customer preference mo, student preference mo, learning style ng bata, no? Mag-shift yan eh. What is excellent before may no longer be excellent now. So to be real excellent, dapat ma-address mo yung changes ng pangangailangan ng bata. So that's one thing na we are yun ang lagi namin na ine-ensure is trying to stay true to our name, real excellence, is we continuously monitor what is the learning style of student, how are we adjusting. So it's always a continuous continuous na connection with our market at doon sa aming solution na pinoprovide. So we actually encourage a democratic environment in Rio wherein yung mga estudyante kapag meron silang concerns, ibabato lang nila sa amin. Lahat naiipon yun tapos nare-report sa amin even in top management. Then we will dissect it and then we will try to make improvement as soon as possible na we can. Meron din tayong CXO sa Rio. Customer Experience Officer. Parang mga big companies na din. Oo, may ganun na rin tayo dito.
So, parang to summarize it, sir, real excellence to you is adaptation
Yes.
and evolution and being open to change,
Yes.
not just to adapt to the market or to the clients that you have, but to, have that quality still na, though would have worked in the past, baka nga hindi naman siya nag-iba. So, you need to change it
Yes, sir.
continuously for it to be better and to be excellent.
Yes, sir.
So sir, yun nga, na-discuss na natin yung the past Rio, then the present Rio. So, for now, sir, kung ano lang po yung gusto nyong i-share, no? If sa tingin nyo, pwede naman siya i-share, no? Hindi siya mag-jinx. What is the future of Rio?
I envision Rio, sir, as a diversified review center, not only in CPA. We were able to, nakapag-impart tayo ng magandang impact sa CPA review industry. Ito yung, sir, yung gusto namin na i-replicate to other professions as well. We do believe na meron pang i-improve Okay, in whatever segment of professional review man po yan. That's why we are now having Rio UPCAT, we have also Rio PSI, we have LEP, ganyan, and then we have also certification programs, even non-PRC courses, ganyan, and then we'll try to integrate this. Same na technology naman siya, sir, yung ating dito framework, no? We're using the same technology, and yung maiiba lang is yung timpla ng timpla ng educational system that will be implemented in each program. And we later on we plan to do something which I cannot discuss now, no, only God will reveal it in the future.
So, abangan na lang na sa mga
Yes,
susunod
sir.
na ano.
Yes, sir.
What made you decide to create, kumbaga, magbigay ng scholarship to our reviewees on those programs? Then what are your parang goals?
Actually, sir, we want to of course tutulong din, no, sa mga qualified na very promising, no, na bata, no, to give them quality review, no, in those respective field, no. Okay, so ayan, kaya tayo nagbibigay ng review scholarship with them.
So, ayun sir, medyo may naman tayo, no, pagka dog show naman na ngayon. No? Pero hindi naman siya yung dog show talaga, no. Ang naman po natin dito, may papakita po ako sa inyong TikTok video. Then kailangan nyo na lang po sigurong gawin, panoorin, makita namin yung reaction ninyo. Then let's say kung ano po yung masasabi ninyo dun sa uploader or sa ating mga audience, no.
Sige, sir.
Ayun po. First video galing kay Alisu na sa TikTok po niya.
Alisu.
Wait lang, saan yung silent dito?
An old man.
Kailangan pa magana sa technical, no? So, eto sir. Leave na lang po.
Ay. Okay. Ano to, sir? Ito yung tawag dito. Nagpapatasa sila, no, yung mga bata. Para kang ginagawa nilang something na parang may bearing yung kapag ikaw yung nagtasa. Ganyan. We're just doing this, sir, kasi parang kuminsan parang something nakaka-guilt. Alam mo yun? Kasi wala naman talagang bearing, pero parang may psychological impact lang kasi sa mga bata na kapag pinagawa ko to, parang may something on it. So we just kumbaga ginagawa na lang namin para doon sa vibe nila, kasi anything that could make their mind settled and peaceful before the board exam, that's already a plus point for us, no, na added na support.
Kasi kumbaga parang ang inaano nila, ay tinasahan ni Sir Rex yung pencil ko. Baka
Swerte na to.
Oo, swerte na to sa akin pag sinagutan ko yung
Board.
Kumbaga parang nangihingi ka ng prayer din sa Diyos. Kay Sir Rex naman nangihingi ka ng Oo.
Actually, sir, kuminsan parang nakaka-guilty siya to the point na pero yung bottom line nito is anything that na mag-rest yung utak ng bata, na makampante siya kahit somehow ma-set yung mood niya na for the exam, na may confidence na na-create natin sa kanya, even though founded or unfounded, that is already something.
So ito sir, mula kay Sweet Kenny naman.
Sweet Kenny.
Hirap daw aralin ng tax. Buti daw may Sir Rex. Ito, 4 na biik.
Ayan. Okay. Yan yung example ko na na hindi kasi ako hindi ako magaling mag-drawing sa tapos yung drawing ko is ang garapata. Talaga literal na nagmumukha siyang ang garapata. So sa akin okay na rin kasi mas kapag kapag gumawa ka ng parang something na alam mo yun, yung parang nakakatuwa or something na parang nakakaintriga, no? Nagre-retain yung bagay na yun doon sa memory ng bata.
As positive association po.
Hindi nila makalimutan yung illustration yung concept ng realized benefit yan doon sa taxation, no? Hindi nila malimutan yung concept na yun because of that drawing.
So ito sir, pangatlong video naman.
Yes sir. Ganyan talaga ako. Kaso thank you so much kasi hindi ko rin in-expect na may mga tao na nakikita nila yung soft side of me.
Opo.
No, na I am often given a wrong impression kasi sa mga nangyayari din sa nakaraan. And I'm happy na may mga tao din na nakikita nila yung tunay na ako.
Eto sir, balita ko may nakadate daw kayo sa cafe eh.
Tingnan nga natin.
Ayun na Grabe no, may... Opo.
Ay. Ayan. Ganyan talaga, sir. Oo.
Na buti yung mga natin, reviewees natin na dahil sa innovation ninyo sir, na online
parang,
yung review, kung saan nila gusto mag-review, doon sila, like katulad nito, may nakadate daw kayo sir. Yun yung gusto ko talaga eh.
Kaya nilang mag-aral, sir, kahit saan. Kahit
Opo.
nasa CR, nanonood.
Then ito sir, pinakalas na kasi sabi niya, pag ikaw daw yung nagtuturo,
Yes, sir.
parang napapadali daw yung understanding niya sa taxation.
Ayun. Talagang sir. It comes with din kasi sir, experience, matagal na experience sir, no? Na kapag sa tagal ng interrelationship mo sa bata, na kikita mo kung paano mag-isip yung mga yan. So nai-deliver na natin yung topic sa paraan na matatouch yung kanilang cognitive and sir, yung buhay ko kasi talaga dinevote ko talaga sa tax, kaya I can freely speak tax in a language na non-technical, in a sense na maski baguhan sa tax kaya kong maparamdam sa kanya. Ganun.
So, ayun sir, before we move on to the next segment, to your viewers, no, sa mga nagre-review po sa Rio, ano po yung parang words of wisdom ninyo, no?
Ang masasabi ko lang is for all, hindi lang ito sa CPA review, no, kahit anong professional undertaking, no. Ang board exam is about sharpening yourself, no, to become a real professional. So makuha mo yung pagre-review na yan, no, yung preparation for that board exam is about transformation, it's about personal transformation. So maging maging totoo lang tayo na hindi ang goal natin is para ipasa, kundi i-retool natin yung sarili natin, i-enable natin yung sarili natin to have the skills, the personality, no, and the technical knowledge, no, to act in accordance with the standards of the profession. So hindi siya about solving lang or pag memorize. There's something behind that. You stick to that. And once na yun ang ginawa mo, no, inabsorb mo yung anong kailangan mo para maging part ng profession na yan. Yung undertaking ng pagre-review, pag-take ng board exam, pagpasa ng board exam, para nagiging normal na lang. So dapat ang focus natin is yung practice. Paano ka mag-fit into the profession. Kapag yun yung perspective mo, lahat ng dapat mong aralin nagiging normal na lang. Hindi ka napipilitan na itandaan o i-memorize yan. Karat siya.
Very inspired yung mga nakita namin videos with the students and the reviewees. And you've had a lot of impact, sir, on their lives and making it easier for them to study, especially in their field na though wala mo siyang alam, maging CPA or in that regard of accountancy. I have friends then that I wouldn't see for months and months dahil nagre-review sila for the board, and I can tell na it's fairly difficult to do that. So you making something and developing something that is convenient but also inclusive for all learners and reviewees, it's a very big impact to them. And we've seen how that impact has manifested, na they look up to you now and parang treat you as kind of an idol in a way. So behind that are people that criticize you or shall we say now, our bashers. We would like to tackle that
Okay.
subject now, sir.
Yes,
And though, medyo mabigat, I think you can handle it naman. With the criticisms around you, can you share, in your opinion, if there are any criticisms that you think were unwarranted or like, unwarranted po siya?
Common na sa akin, sir, kasi nasanay na rin ako through the years. Probably, sir, isa sa mga regret ko rin, no, as a professional, no, na ganito, hindi ako naka-ready, sir, sa buhay na ganito. Kumbaga, ako yung traditional na professor, reviewer, na in a certain place, magtuturo ka lang na ganyan. Wala akong alam na yung personality ng tao sa tunay na buhay pwedeng magkaroon ng ibang personality sa parang online, ganun. Hindi ako sanay sa social media. I was not prepared doon sa ganun na buhay na may two life pala tayo. Kumbaga personality in real life and personality online. May mga nagsasabi na toxic ako. If I will dissect that from the start, hindi ko alam kasi i-defense ang sarili ko or i-explain yung sarili ko. So kapag may nakita ako na na post, for example, na critical of me, at kapag it's something na hindi totoo, I tend to use my sasagot ako, alam mo yan. Hindi ko alam kung paano properly mag-react. So magpo-post ako doon sa wall ko, and then people who do not even know the issue, alam mo yun, parang nagkakalat ka, ganun. Hindi ko alam na yun ang impact, no? Ay basta yung naging naging emotional ako, although gawain lang ng isang tao siguro yan, ganun. Tapos then later on, kapag sasagot ako, broadcast na. Hindi ko alam na syempre ang daming tao na hindi involved doon. Yes, no? At some points in my life, no, several times more probably is naging toxic yung response ko doon sa reaction ng ibang tao. So that's one thing. And another thing is I grew up, no? Yung mga maliliit na bagay, napaka-importante sa iyo. Yung pananim mo, binabantayan mo yan na hindi matuyot sa araw, hindi kainin ng alagang hayop ng kapitbahay, hindi nakawin, yung bunga. We tend to be very protective of these simple things because they matters to us so much. Rio kasi, gusto kong mag-create ng impact na makakapagbigay ng magandang influence and impact sa maraming tao. I do believe kasi through Rio, maraming buhay na matatransform. So, I put so much importance in Rio. I became too protective in the sense na kapag may nag-criticize sa Rio, ganyan, kapag may nambabash sa amin, lalo na kapag hindi totoo sa understanding ko, magre-reply ako agad sa aking Facebook ulit, Facebook wall, na mayroon siyang parang sarcastic na remark. Ganun. Kasi hindi ko alam kung paano ko i-handle yung mga ganung klase ng bagay.
In that regard, sir, natutunan niyo naman po kung paano parang control yourself in a way.
Honestly, sir, for quite a long time. Ako kasi yung tao, sir, na tendency ko na hindi naman ako gumawa ng parang ganun. Hindi ako nagsisinungaling. Hindi ko naman ginawa ng hindi naman ako yung gumagawa ng masama. Dinedefend ko lang yung sarili ko. Hindi ako yung aggressor. Parang nagiging normal sa akin yung ganun. But for the people na walang alam dun sa nangyayari, there is something on that. Na-realize ko na rin later on na, yun nga, na may mga kaibigan ko rin mismo, ikaw kasi bro, patola ka, ganito, ganyan. Kaya sabi ko sa kanila, ano kayong mali sa akin? I sat down with some friends. And then sabi nila, ganito kasi bro, ikaw kasi malaki ka na. Dapat hindi ganyan yung way na pag-handle mo. Ay, ganun ba yun? Sabi ko. So, nasanay kasi ako doon sa pagiging maliit. Kumbaga ako, nandun ako pa rin. Yung utak ko, nag-grow yung tingin ng tao sa akin, na ang tingin ko sa sarili ko, nandun pa rin. Ang personality ko kasi is never ako maging kampante, never akong maging mayabang sa sarili ko. Yung parang ganun. I always underestimate myself. Maski magaling ako academically, hindi ko tinitignan yun. Wala lang yan. Parang ganun. Yung mga nagawa ko siguro sa buhay ko din is nangyari yun kasi masyado akong conservative against myself. I do not esteem myself so much. I keep on pushing even though it's okay na sa perspective ng iba. Ganun yung tingin ko sa sarili ko. Nandun pa rin ako. So masyado akong protective kasi nga baka masira yung bagay na pinaghihirapan ko. Hindi ko na nakita na some people are looking at me pala na ay, nandun na pala ako. Parang ganun. So na-realize ko na ganun and I think I should now play the big brother role. I would be dapat mas understanding na ako yung mga bagay na ganyan, dapat hindi ko na lang dapat pinapansin. So lately, no, na-realize ko na, oo nga, no, ganun na pala. So, di ko alam, na-outgrow ko na pala yung ano ko. Kumbaga, para ako lumaki na yung isipan ko, bata pa. Parang ganun. So, moving forward, no, I can say na, I now know how to properly handle those.
As you've said before, sir, that you built something for a long time in this industry, and for someone na, matagal na, and you've experienced a lot about it, recently you've had criticism about industry standards. What would you say about that, sir?
I really hate materialism. The reason is, para kang nag-cheat, no? One thing is para kang nag-cheat kasi you tend to look at saan nagkuha ng question yung examiner, and then you study that in the hope na lalabas ulit. Parang it is an end to, parang ganun, to the means. Alam mo yung shortcut way of doing it. Kapag ganun kasi, lalong mauulit at mauulit na mag-i-exam ang bata. Kasi nga, who could predict kung saan kukuha yung examiner ng questions? So, ang daming sources. Tapos isa pa, kapag yung examiner gumawa ng sarili niya ng tanong, so paano ka na? So, it's not the proper way of preparing professionally. Kasi, ang tama lang naman na gawin, the shortest way is just to study the concept, the why, the principles. At kahit gagawa si examiner ng tanong na pabalu-baluktot, kung hawak mo yung principle, masasagot mo yan. If you know the principles, you can answer thousands of questions that will be drawn out of that. Pero kung yung tanong lang kasi, yung source ang tinitignan mo, yung nakafocus ka lang sa material, hindi ka magiging tunay din na professional. Even if you pass the board exam later on, magkakapaka pa rin kasi nga, nag-memorize ka lang para pumasa. So, dapat talaga, ang tamang approach is, turuan yung bata o ikaw na bata, intindihin mo lang yan. Mas madaling paraan yun. At later on, kapag naging professional ka, mas magagawa mo on your own. Mas may freedom ka to speak for the profession because kargado ka ng kaalaman. Kesa yung nag-memorize ka lang ng question.
Mas prefer mo, sir, yung may konting or set amount of things lang na matutunan to set the foundation rather than studying hundreds upon hundreds of concepts na baka in the future as professionals hindi naman nila gamitin pero na-memorize nila. Parang hindi nila fully na-understand.
Yes, sir. Wala ka kasing freedom, sir, kapag templated ang mundo mo. I know that the children of this generation right now, they do not want templated. May mas freedom ka kasi kapag you know the why and the how. Iba yung freedom na ganun.
So, as someone then that studied in that kind of way, it is very freeing na we learn more and you know more, and then in that regard parang nagkakaroon ng spider web where one thing, foundation siya, tas you learn one, two, tas mag-branch down to siya to where you know a lot more than you start.
Actually, sir, parang ang knowledge kasi, sir, parang web yan sa totoo lang. Kapag nagbasa ka ng isang principle sa textbook, no? Maraming unwritten pa dyan which you can write yourself. Mas may, mas merong in-depth understanding. Mas may tamang pundasyon kapag talaga aralin natin yung why. We go for the concepts and the principles. Iba siya, mas enriching siya, and mas it opens to a wide possibility of further developments na hindi pinag-uusapan ng mga professionals right now.
And then parang yun po na may development po in the knowledge and how it continues to change tawag dito. And it further betters how we understand things in the world. And I in that way, it's very commendable po, and understanding of that opinion po of why you prefer this way other than or compared to the other.
So, sir, based on your answers earlier, how do you reflect on your actions? Can you elaborate more on how do you take accountability dun sa mga posts and your replies online?
Yes, sir. Sa totoo lang, sir, hindi necessary pala na mag-engage ka pa sa any online na discussion about mga just mag-focus na lang sa kung ano yung ginagawa. So right now, sir, is we already realign everything to just focus on our own. So kung ano man ang naririnig natin sa labas, kung something na kailangan i-improve sa looban, kailangan natin na ayusin, no? So, kapag hindi naman, so it's just everyone's opinion. Hindi kasi natin pwedeng pakialaman ang opinion ng iba. Pero kung totoo siya, dapat natin ayusin.
So, very responsible po yung ganun, sir. Taking accountability and really improving yourself for future discussions or future incidents that might happen. And that's the mark of improvement and evolution of being a better person. And again, commendable thing that you can do. But as someone as a public figure and someone who's has a very high position in this company, it is still very important to look outside on what's happening to the people below and to the people in the general public. And so, in terms of being an educator and with the state of education in our country, what is your stance about it as someone that is continuing to build something to be more affordable and more accessible for reviewees and learners to, use?
For me, sir, dapat lahat ng academic undertaking, government-inspired man or private-inspired like us, is dapat wish ko lang, no, na maging mas freely accessible sana ang edukasyon to the masses. Yung tipo na if we look at all the ills of society right now, mapa-corruption man yan, mapa-issue ng mga infightings, no, sa gobyerno, whatever that is, no, yung mga issue on poverty, if we try to look at it in a closer perspective, ang talagang solution na nakikita natin na malaking solution is education talaga. So kasi kapag we are able to produce, we are able to deliver education na responsible na education, kalidad na edukasyon, mas accessible sa lahat. Kapag lahat naman ng tao natutunan ng tama, is magkakaroon na yan ng parang synergy that will improve this country. The real thing is education ang makakapagbigay ng solusyon sa lahat. So more likely yung choices ng mga tao, kung minsan may mga karamihan sa atin na nababasa natin sa online, may mga displeased sa decision ng Pilipinas, mga ganyan-ganyan, no, but of course kapag properly informed siguro ang Pilipinas through proper education, mas magandang education, mas tama siguro yung choices natin as a nation. Yun yung gamot siguro sa karamihan sa mga kailangan nating ayusin sa ating bansa ay yung mas accessible dapat ang education. Meron kasi tayong social divide. The reason na merong rich, may poor, ganun, is because nagiging limited kasi yung option kapag, di ba? Kapag kunwari if I'm going to relate, no, doon sa pinanggalingan ko, we were 40 plus na students doon sa school namin, no? Doon sa probinsya. Now, doon sa amin doon sa 40 plus na yun, only mga 5 lang ang naging professional at nagkaroon ng trabaho. So those 35 na classmates namin noon na matatalino sana, lahat sila masisipag, walang question sa kasipagan nila. They could have been, alam mo yun, kung lahat sana kami ganito lahat, di ba? Hindi lang ang ganda sana. So ganun, kailangan ng Pilipinas ang mas accessible na education. Mas of course quality, no, na education.
Yung best solution talaga dito sa bansa natin, no? Kasi number one crisis talaga in education, no, na makakaapekto sa growth ng isang tao. Kasi if walang quality education and accessible education, parang nasasayang yung talent, no, yung future yung
potential, sir, ng mga correct, sir. Kasi sir, may tayo, kumbaga may of course quality education comes at a price kasi. Yun yung reality sa ngayon, and of course paano naman kapag hindi ma-afford, so parang naipagkait na yung basic na karapatan na yun sa. So yun siguro talaga ang objective ng ating government is to make it more affordable. Through government initiative man or private initiative, yun siguro yung pagtulong-tulungan ng lahat na mas gawing mas accessible, mas affordable.
So, Sir Rex, you've touched upon being an educator and what you think is parang the best approach of making accessible and affordable quality education, because that's a ongoing crisis na pinaface natin in the Philippines, especially for young learners and even in the collegiate level. marami pa rin mga Pilipino ang hindi nakakatanggap ng quality education and thus na-i-impede and na-halt ang evolution natin as a society. And so, upon learning that, parang kind of conclude this entire thing. What to you makes a good person? Ano ba para sa'yo, sir, ang pagiging mabuting tao?
Para sa akin, sir, ang pagiging mabuting tao is someone na tinitingnan niya yung hindi lang yung mabuti para sa kanyang sarili, kundi din kung ano yung nakakabuti sa iba. Saka hindi lang yung kaya niyang i-avoid yung nakakasama sa sarili niya, kundi yung nakikita din niya kung ano yung at kaya niyang ilayo, no, yung mga pwedeng makasama sa ibang tao. Saka it is a matter of kaya niyang i-balance yung pagiging right at pagiging kind.
Since you've said na everything, sir, I think very last question na to. Do you have any realizations upon parang telling your story and telling the history of what you've built and what you think will be for the future? Any realizations pa on that?
Ang mai-share ko lang siguro is for everyone, no, or kahit sino man na nangangarap na na ma-break yung kanilang yung status ko sa buhay nila and to do something, no, to society is ang gawin lang natin is tignan natin kung ano yung makakatulong sa kapwa. Kumbaga lahat ng business dapat dapat yan ay may magandang maidudulot sa community. So kapag you always stay in the public interest, laging laging nandun ka sa ikakabuti ng mas nakakarami, kahit di ka mag-a-advertise, talagang itutulak ng publiko yan. Hindi mo kailangang ipilit, kumbaga ganun. Kapag nakikita ng tao na relevant yan sa kanila, may magandang impact sa kanila, ipupush nila yan. So yun yung rule of thumb, no? Kapag gusto natin na gagawa ng something, no, that will provide a positive impact to other people.
Sir, before we end this podcast, we will be having a short, what do you call this? A short icebreaker before we end. So, ito po yung, kung napapanood niyo po si Boy Abunda na sa mga TV, ito po yung tinatawag na fast talk. So, we have, I think, 13 questions. Kung ano lang po yung pumasok sa isip nyo, yun na po agad. So, you will have 2 choices po per questions. Okay, sir? Yes po. Okay. So, alright, first question. Online, on-site?
On-site.
Manila, Baguio?
Baguio talaga.
Original or strawberry taho?
Original.
2-seater car or 4-seater car?
4-seater.
Diplomat Hotel or Laperal House?
Laperal.
Sinigang sa Sampaloc, sinigang sa Baguio?
Sinigang sa Baguio.
Complete the sentence. I am Rex Bangawan and I am...
Unbeatable.
Unbeatable, okay. Memorization or analysis?
Analysis.
Review or no review?
Review.
Basketball or table tennis?
Table tennis.
Pag pumupunta ka ng Maynila, sir, drive or bus?
Drive.
Best time for review?
Morning.
Morning. Okay, so ayan na. Binatay na. So, doon na po nagtatapos ang ating Fast Talk and our podcast with Sir Rex. So, Sir Rex, thank you po for having the time, giving the time and the opportunity to have you here on the first episode of Roots of Excellence.
Thank you so much din, Sir CJ and Sir Tyrell. Yes.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving time and your answers to us and really enlightening us and the audience and the viewers of who you are and what you think and what your plans for the future.
So, sir, before we end this podcast, ano po yung parang short advice nyo po sa kanila when it comes to review and on their future endeavors?
Wag lang tignan yung ngayon, no? Kumbaga ang certification, ng professional certification is about preparing you, no, to become real professionals in the field. So let's not just aspire to pass the board exam. Tingnan natin what really lies ahead. Look at the purpose of that certification, then build yourself on that. So para maging normal yung pagpasa natin sa board exam. Mas realistic, kumbaga. Kapag pumasa na tayo, mas madali tayong makapag-adapt doon sa practice. So, yun. Let's look far beyond the exam. Hindi lang tayo doon sa exam naka-focus.
Ayun sir, thank you again for the time, no, for the opportunity of having here, no, interviewing you, knowing about you, your past self, no, and how you build Rio. So thank you for listening, and we hope to see you on our next episode.
Thank you so much. Goodbye. See you.